Hi guys, welcome back to Factorio Vanilla. This is episode 6 and today we're going to try and get the inserters ready so that we can start feeding in and complete our work on green science. So the factory is starting to come along quite nicely. We've got all the various bits and pieces we need starting to build up. What do we need in order to make inserters? We need electric circuits, we've already got those on the bus. We need iron gear wheels, we can make those locally, and we need iron plate. So that's actually fairly simple to do. In that case, it takes half a second to make one iron gear wheel. We already know that from last time, and it takes half a second to make one electronic one inserter. So if we're busing in the electronic circuits, we can just have a ratio of something along the lines of 1 to make the cog, 1 to make the inserter, 1 for the cog, 1 for the inserter. So if we go down and we've got 4 lots here, so let's do 4 lots for the inserters as well, because they both take half a second each, so if we've got the same number we should have exactly the same setup then. So this is going to be inserter, inserter, and this will be cog. So run this right up here as our iron input. We can run this, don't do that, we can run this right the way down as our green circuit input. And then, do we want to keep this clear in case we want to double this up? No, I think we're probably okay. So we can have our output coming out from here, which will run down, and then come along from this side to filter in. So, do we have enough inserters? No. So one of the first things we're going to need once we can make inserters is to grab some inserters for us to use. And it can be a bit of a mess trying to remember which way around all these inserters go. I'm sure you've seen me make a few mistakes by now, but I do try and get them right first time where I can. So that's those. We had 1 spare, and we're going to need some long hand inserters as well. So if we just replace these, and we're going to need 1 extra one there just to cover this one on the end, which means we probably need to, oh no, we've just about got enough room to do it. So that will connect there, and we do have a problem with the long hand inserters. Let's just move them around rather than replacing all the power poles. There you go, that's not too bad. So we can remove this, put in another splitter, and we're going to have to mark out where things go now because we don't want to mess up our lines. So that's for the copper, and that's for the green circuits. We will need to remove a little bit of this. I had intended to do this between videos and I completely forgot about it. So you have to bear with me a moment while I get the path cleared to run our green circuits down the bus. in the meantime, I suppose we can talk about schedules a little bit, but I'm hoping to put up a video each day, Monday to Friday, so that's 5 times a week. You might notice, if you've been sort of watching things carefully, I missed last Thursday, and that's because I ran out of time. So I will try and get up 5 videos a week, but if I miss one, I'm sorry, you're getting this for free anyways, you just have to put up with a missed video every now and again. On the same sort of topic, noticed from the dashboard earlier that we've got our first subscriber, so thank you to whoever is choosing to subscribe. I hope over time there'll be a few more of you, and as always, if you like what you see or if there's something you want me to try and do, leave a like, leave a comment. I will try and get round to them all as I see them, because the more feedback you give me, the more I can learn what you guys want to see and do it a little bit better. But for the meantime, that's our green circuits lined up, so we can start with the last little bit of this now, which is connecting these all down to finish our setup. There we go. So we should see that. No, we won't see yet because I missed something. There you go. Now we should see iron plates coming in, being turned into cogs, going down, picking up the green circuits and turn them both into inserters, which then get dropped off along here. And these will go down slowly, 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 coming along, and of course we've forgotten to put our inserters on this side. So the first few inserters, which we're going to pick up as they arrive, and we can use these then to actually place the inserters we want. We don't have quite enough. That's okay, we can build a few more. Should put some lights at the same time, so we've got lights from the red and green science pack already. But let's pop some down here as well, because as I keep saying, I don't normally play with lights in my factories, but I've already seen from watching back a few of these that YouTube does seem to make everything look a little bit darker on your screens at home. So let's put some lights in just so we can actually see what's going on properly. There you go, so we've now got green science packs starting to reduce along with the red ones, which means at this stage we can disassemble the old labs and start a new lab complex somewhere down here and around this area. So I reckon 10 labs is a good starting place. And I made a mess of that because I should have removed the inserters first rather than doing it backwards. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So this can come down here, and we are going to have to get power to it, but that's something we can do later on. So if we bring this along, and let's use our planner tool for the time being to line it up. There we go. As these start to complete, then we can just pop them in as well. It's all coming along nicely. These take a few more seconds to do, and then we can leave our science to progress for a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that picked up red and green, but it's only picked up red? I suppose it doesn't matter too much, as long as they actually pick up the bits they need when they do need them. Now that reminds me, we are going to need more power fairly quickly, so I think that's going to be the next thing we move on to work on. We've almost finished making all the lamps we need. So a few seconds more of me standing around, not really doing much, but then we can get back to the exciting things of actually building things and seeing things develop. There you go, that's our last lab ready, and in a moment we should have some inserts as well. There you go. So if we run back up here now, you can see how things are keeping pace, or if they're keeping pace. Now it looks like 4 of these might not actually be enough, because we can see this pile is dropping down slowly. The big problem though, looks like we might have run out of iron. So as well as running out of power, we also need to look at pumping up our iron production, because we've got nowhere near enough iron coming through at the moment. That's okay though, we can work with that. And the reason we've got not enough iron is we don't actually have enough iron ore coming through, so we can still expand this for the time being, get more iron ore coming through. That might solve the problem. We will take a look at that in a moment. And that's a nice easy one to do, so let's do that quickly before we sort the power problem. And we're going to need probably another 15 mining drills. So how many can we make? Just the one of them, that's not very good. But that's partly why we've got things like this in place, so we can buffer what's going on. And let's turn the buffers out so that actually will empty onto the stacks for the time being and make up a little bit of our shortfall. So there you go, I've laid down the ghost images, so I know that we are going to need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 21. Which is actually a little bit more than I thought we would. But we are starting to actually finish crafting them, so we can start popping these down. And we've got enough power poles now, so we can start putting some power poles down at the same time. And in a moment we'll be able to put another few down. There you go, so that's bullet speed 2 researched. What else have we got? Circuit networks. I don't know if I want to do too much with circuit networks this series. Maybe I'll do something else in the future with those. But certainly the ability to have red belts would be useful. Solar panels, it's a bit too early for solar panels yet. I mean, we could start it going. Yeah, just a fail-safe. Let's get some solar panels going, and that way we can always, well, I'll show you some nifty tricks we can do with solar panels. we know we need to come back and finish that. But for the time being, let's grab some more iron. Well, how much iron have we got? We've got enough. So let's build another stack of steam engines and another stack of boilers and get a second power column going. We need a little bit more copper before we can do that. So that will continue smelting for a moment. So we need 3 more mining drills, and then we can leave that bit for now. But looking over here, where do we want to put our next set of steam engines? Just counting that for a second, because I wasn't sure we actually had the correct amount. So here's me going on about ratios and things and not actually abiding by them. But no, that is 10 there. So we've now got enough belts to actually bring things across to where we need them. I don't really want them by this area because it's going to get in the way of our furnace area. So how about, as I thought in the very first episode, how about we run them up in this area instead, because that way it's a little bit further away, you've got to belt the coal in a little bit further, but it's nice and out of the way and nothing's actually going through here at the moment. So cancel some of these because we don't need quite that many drills for a moment. But let's start running some belt over to there so we can actually fuel it when it's ready. And we want to look at exactly where we want to place them. Now what I might do is even out this coastal area slightly, so we've got a nice flat area to work with, and then take them all up from there, which means that I'll probably use this as our bottom area, and we're going to need some more pipes as well. So we'll let that finish going for a moment. We've just finished the last of our mining drills, so while we're waiting for these things to craft, we'll pop the mining drills in place, and hopefully that sorts our shortage for the time being. But, it's always a bit frustrating when you've got to wait for lots of things. That's why, as I said in the last episode, you tend to build the factory to build the factory, and that's the bit we've not quite got to yet. But from here on out, it should be easier and easier to actually do bigger and bigger builds. So, is this going to be too close? It might be, because it's going to come into range of the edge of the copper and the edge of this. So, how about instead we run it off this one for the time being, and then we can take it up quite nicely there instead. It also gives us a nice barrier because we can wall this up straight away, because we've got the ability to make walls now, and then nobody will be able to come in there either and surprise us from our right hand side. Cancel a few of these around, but I want to put in a bit of a gap so we can actually run between these, but then we run these up here, and hopefully it will all fit together. Just about. where do our lines end up? To there, to there. That's not too difficult. Hopefully at some point, I wasn't expecting to run out of belt there, but hopefully at some point we can get these to combine, which they will do. We just need a little bit more belt first to do it. So almost done with this one now. Just need to connect it up with an underground pipe, and I want that so I can run between the two areas. We are going to need to put some electric poles down here, which is fairly easy. That will only take a second. There you go. And we need to connect this up to the rest of the network. So this can come straight across here. Now we should have enough poles to get across. Yep, plenty. So the last thing now is to start sending coal in, because without that we can't get the boilers working. Without that there's no steam. So it does look like we are maybe starting to use up as much coal as we're producing, so we can have a look at putting down a spot more in terms of the coal miners, because yeah, we are starting to see some shortages coming up here, but that's okay, we can work with that. Got some spare mines already. Now long term this won't be a sustainable fuel source for us, but it will certainly do us for the short term. And if we look, we've got a nice bit of coal down there and a huge amount by there, which we could actually tap and bring straight down into this if we wanted to. So that will keep things going for the medium to long term. So if we just put in a bit more belt to connect all this up. And then we need to give them both some power as well. There we go. So if we run down, we can see that the coal is slowly coming through. Now there's going to be a shortage for a little while because it just has a lot more belt to travel down. But that's still got enough coal. This is now got coal coming down as well. It will go all the way down here, so you can see it's starting to back up already, but no, it's not backing up yet, but it will do. But it's running down all the way down this long belt into here to fuel this, and that should, if we zoom in, find a power pole. Well, actually, it's not done as well as we thought. We were using about 5.5 megawatts before. We're now using 8, so we're going to need even more fuel fairly soon, even more power fairly soon. So I think it's worth putting in another power supply. I'll just quickly do it now, and that'll be the end of the video then. Actually, I think we might be just about out of time, so I'm going to call it here, and the very first thing we do next time will be to put in that extra power, because we are going to need it very soon. So that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Come back next time for the next part in the series, and I will see you later. Take care, everyone.